Welcome back to another edition of Up the Mic. My name still remains Alex Osho. It is indeed an honor to have you guys stay glued to the TV, listening to us every week. Today I still have my Adaeze, the Ada of Off the Mic podcast in the house. Our first lady, ladies and gentlemen, Josephine Lawrence. You want to put your hands together for her? See how she's blushing. I
Thank
don't
you.
understand. You blush for inside this matter. How have you been, Josephine?
I've been good. I've
How's
been
been your
good.
week?
Thank you. It's been wonderful. Thank
Nice,
you.
nice. So, Up the Mic podcast is a space where we speak truth to power and we bear our mind on everything that will make Nigeria a better place in every sector. Today, we have someone in the studio who is a friend and a brother. I consider him more a brother than a friend because someone who has been a friend since I was in secondary school is no longer a friend, he's a brother.
Family.
Ladies and gentlemen, I dare say that I have seen the trajectory of his life and I am super proud to be called his friend. When we speak of real estate in Nigeria, not the let me not mention names before they sue me. Not the ones that they are shouting up and down that they are doing anyhow. But we're going into that. But he is doing it silently and is doing wonders. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak of someone who has traveled far and wide to own his craft and is good at what he does. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Jide Adekola to the studios.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's pretend like I don't know you before. Who is Jide Adekola?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's very hard to pretend that you don't know me. So I won't look at you when I'm defining who I am. So
Look at me.
basically, okay, yes,
Oh,
Just
see
getting to know you.
problem.
I can look at you. So pretty much, I grew up in a very humble background, academic background. So I grew up in the University of Lagos, and obviously we lived in an area where things kind of worked. You know, I didn't have to leave the estate or the school premises for a whole year because you had you had churches, you had school, you had
Malls.
all of that there, so you didn't have to leave, right? And it was somewhere that worked. So also had power. They generated their own power. So if we got a blackout, it was very rare.
Very rare, actually.
So I think that's what really, if you're just growing up in that, when you now come out of where you are, you now realize that there's a little bit of chaos and you feel you need to just tidy things up. So but for me, I mean, I think that's where that whole trajectory started. Very humble background. My mom died when I was 3. So
We're going to come to that anyway.
yes, my father took up everything, so we also supported, and we felt, look, this man is really trying. Let's try and pick things up, and that was where that whole self sort of development came, But fast forward to that whole period. So basically, it's something interesting. And this is probably how and when I met Alex. So there's something happened where I attended this primary school there, and then I was going to attend the secondary school inside the university, and I knew I was going to attend the university there. So that means I really would not leave that.
University
And I
of
said, no,
Lagos space.
I wasn't going to do the secondary school there. And that's when I went to King's College. He also helped me because he allowed me to see parts of Lagos every single day. So I remember then I used to see the likes of Ebute Meta then as I passed through, and I say, one day I'll break these buildings down and build a better building. And I dare say it's already happening now. But I remember vividly that those trips to King's College, it was on my mind. So he did a lot because he made me start driving early, start knowing VI early, start knowing other places early, compared to my friends that were probably staying in international school and all that. I mean, not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but in fact, some people think because I went there before King's College started. Like, you have this break period. Some schools resume before the other schools. So because I had passed the exams, I started for like 2 months and then I went to KC. So that sort of made people feel I'm from the two schools. Like they feel and then when I'm coming back, I still pass there. So basically, that's really how that had come to power from when I was young. But really, the whole dream of development, architecture, it came from King's College. I don't even remember this Balogun guy, the
S.I.
guy
Balogun.
the one that died that
S.I.
was
Balogun.
Introtech. Yes, that was teaching us Introtech. Yes,
It was
he
the
was the one.
PKC?
No, not the
No.
PKC. There
Okay,
was
the
another guy
Introtech.
that I always used
Okay.
to.
I remember him right now.
Yes, he actually, one of the open days, he met my dad, and he told him that this guy should either read from junior secondary. This guy should either read architecture or engineering. Now my father is
An
an
engineer.
engineer, so you can imagine where his mind went to. However, I realized that when you're reading and trying to guess things, maybe JSS exams, one thing that kept me up at night was drawings. And I wasn't staying up because I wanted to impress my teacher. I just wanted to figure out what was. I mean, the assignments could keep me till the night. Imagine from junior secondary school, staying up at night, you're eager to go to school. So, and then it started to trigger imaginations, because what they do is that they give you a machine. So, like, a machine has different, all the sides of a machine are not the same. It's just like, just look at the engine of your car. Open the engine of your car. That engine, if you bring it out and they put it in front of you here, the front, the side, the back, they are not the same. So what the teachers used to do is that they give you two sides and they tell you to figure out the other two sides. So it's triggered. You don't know it. You have not seen it before. But because of what you are seeing from the top and from the side, you're trying to figure out what's happening on the other side. And it's just the person that gets it right. So it starts to trigger that sort of imagination, which is the beginning of this whole creative space. We're doing a mall on Admiralty. Before it was a mall, it was someone's house. The man doesn't know. You are proposing it to him, but he doesn't know what you want to
I
build.
don't want
cannot
to.
see the
Let's not go
vision.
into that.
Okay,
There's
so,
a lot to talk about.
So maybe I should just take it to that's where creativity started from. That's how I knew. So like people that say, "Well, I figured out what I wanted to do afterward." Mine is a bit different. From that point,
Already
I
knew.
was definite that was what I was going to do.
Okay, so talking about your book, first of all, I think I would like to congratulate you. This is a masterpiece.
Thank you.
You know, when I said I know Jide Adekola, reading this book just showed me another Jide
Yes,
Adekola that I
another
never
side.
met before. You
Yes.
get, and if you are someone aspiring to become successful in life, and particularly in the space of real estate, I think you should get this book. It's called My Homework: Leaping into Glory, a Jide Adekola story. You see it? Don't waste time. Go grab it.
His
Anyway, we're up. I'm telling you, very detailed. Now, you said something that struck me. I mean, about your mom's passing on, which was one of the, I think, the 10th page or so. And the question I asked myself is, your dad had your three sisters, yourself, and Obafemi, about the time of C. Paston.
Yes, he was one.
And how did he cope as a man taking care of 5 children all alone? Because you stated also that he never remarried. How did he cope?
So it was a very funny. I mean, I didn't know much. I was 3, but the stories I heard, and obviously I had to go back to try and ask questions. In fact, when I was reading this book, even more revelation. When I was writing this book, even more revelation came. You don't really ask those questions.
Yes.
But I knew certain things. So pretty much, it was a very funny day. Normal stuff. She prepared for the kids, took them to the same staff school, dropped us off, my 3 sisters and myself. So at the time, Femi wasn't in school yet. Femi followed her. So Femi was not yet 1. It was a few months. It was a baby. And then my dad went to the Department of Electrical Engineering. So everybody said their bye-byes in the morning and then set out. Exactly 30 minutes after, he got a call. Lagos Ibadan accident.
Oh my.
So the driver, so she actually died trying to shield my brother.
Wow.
Because if you are spinning and turning around and around, you need to, and he survived. So if you see him, he has a scar. Yeah. So obviously that's like somebody I really protect. I'm sure you'll have known from school. I really protect because I feel there's something.
Connection, a
You
deeper
understand?
thing.
Yes. So the driver made it, had some deep wounds. But she died instantly. So you can imagine sending that message to him as 30 minutes after he has left her and gone to. So it was very funny. They had to get us all off school, go to my uncle's house, try to break the story. And she was really all he had in terms of, he's an academic person and he's very, very successful at it. So he wasn't after money or business. He just left it to her. And she was very successful. She was working in Mobile at the time. You can imagine then, my dad keeps saying that he's sure she would have been a minister or something. But she was doing all the traveling, doing. You can imagine now. You've met him before, so he's just
Yeah.
very.
Popsy.
He's very just laid back. You
Chilled
know,
guy.
we're the kind of guys that all the children come to our compound to come and play all the toys because we had everything. You know, and all of a sudden, just like that, everything went. You know, so for him, he keeps telling us that he had only 500 naira and obviously the car was gone. He didn't even bother chasing properties that she was building because he didn't even have details. So I can tell you till today there are some properties we don't know, you know. But he now he just had to start. So he actually told us at a point he contemplated suicide
Jesus.
because it was that bad. But I think one of his sisters who is still alive, since she celebrated her 90th last month, told him that you came from the village, so to speak, and you are the only successful one. That those that used to, you know, run around with undies and pushing tires, and you were able to come out of Abeokuta and become something. So you are the most successful of all your siblings. If you kill yourself, these your children that are educated.
They're going back there.
We are going to bring them to our side to come and sell granite and stuff. I'm just telling you. So that just woke him up.
was
That
like
was
a
the
threat.
that was the turning point. So for him, that was it, and all he had was really. The children were doing very well in terms of education. So particularly my sisters, it was a long jump for me.
Yeah, I'm going there.
It was a long jump for me. They're like all these best in West Africa, SSC.
I read all of that. In fact,
Yes.
reading it, I'm like, so they won all these
No,
awards.
they were up there. They gave
and all of
me.
that.
It was almost like what's going on, you know. But that helped because when they started getting the scholarships to study abroad and all, people thought it was the man that was dropping the money.
They didn't know
But
it was
wasn't. So there was a lot of cover. Like you could know that God was covering, you know. But I mean, at a point, he started picking up. You know, the lecturer salary is very difficult. People try to push him to business. He wasn't too good at it. They swerved him. But I mean, he made it to deputy vice chancellor of the university. So I mean, I think at that point we were very.
That
it's-
was
it's
when
the
we
cars
met.
that used to bring us to
Yes, we used
to
we used to
King's
go to school
College.
together
Yes,
and
so
come back
so
together.
basically, I mean, that just shows you resilience, waiting out time,
Persistence.
and we also learned it. So you know, and I think that also one thing I'm scared about the new generation because there's something that luck does to what you sort of protect when you start having things. So you didn't have too many cars, but when the cars started coming, we were very. You will wash it, you will clean it, because you know you understand luck. You understand, and because of that, you are till now you cherish every single thing you have. Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I read the book to a point where I understand now why you do the things you do. That your mom was chastised, was envied heavily. And without trying to sound like, I mean, the usual Nigerian who says maybe somebody did something, that, but I think part of this could be also from those who never wanted her to fly. You mentioned that until she had you, she had no children according to them, even though she had 3 daughters. So there was a need for a male child. How did she cope? How did Mom Popsy cope? How did this define how you see humans? Because some people would have said, with what my mom went through, and she still died, with what my dad went through, and they just don't want people around them. But this is you who has impacted so many lives, embraces people, ensures you support in your way. I mean, what gives you that strength to move on?
Yeah. Okay, so I think there are different phases to this, but it shows you really read it because those are the parts that are very key.
I read
you
it.
know, and
I
I
read
had
it
to
deeply.
really find out a lot of things where you can see those details. So the first thing is on the fact that no male child. She actually had twins before me. These are
Yes,
things that I
the
picked
pastor,
and,
yeah.
and they were boys. So that would have been the end.
And there will be no Jide.
So you never know why. And it was a riot in Ikorodu Road.
Onikoro that she went to.
Yeah, so she had no. This
She
story
passed
has
through.
never. I think the book is the first time, even for the family, they are all like, this makes sense because we've never really told it.
Share this story.
Yes, and I think by finding out, they now knew
What really
the
happened?
full story. You know, it took a lot of interviews. Daddy, come sit down. I need to understand what happened, and he broke it down. So yes, that was the first part. So it was almost like that story was coming to pass, and then the twins now died, tear gas and stuff. So it now took us to the point where, and I liked their style. He was very. I picked a lot of things from both of them. He's very. He shut his ears to what people say.
You said that in the book.
So even when I mean, I don't want to really go into family
They have
issues.
themselves.
Yes, I don't want to go into family issues,
But it is what it is.
But yes,
they are the first problems we always have.
when people wanted to, so what you see me doing now, that was my mom. But it was also a problem because you are calling on everybody. Yeah, that she's helped people to start businesses. She helped people to do a lot of things selflessly. But my dad is the kind of, look, I'm doing my thing, go to my professor, I go to my class, I don't want more. So he didn't. I can tell you that some things have gone that we don't know, including houses that we're not even fighting. You understand? What title do we have? Which one is the one we know? Let's fire on with that, right? Cars, different things. So she helped a lot of people. But I think what the problem was, which we see today, is when people want to take that for granted. They want to milk more. They want to take more out of it. I mean, a lot of people traveled abroad on a bill, So, I mean, I can feel the guilt when they try to call now, but we actually do not contact. There was no contact. There's no pay me back for what you paid, nothing like that. So there's this.
These guys are comfortable
and see what is happening. I know, right? And still, where we have the chance, we don't even argue. We just send or do whatever it is we need to do, not expecting anything back.
That's how life should be. I think you deserve an applause.
So that's.
But
like I said, I think this came from him, particularly his character, the way we saw him. Somebody that your wife died, you are so passionate about your kids. He used to carry us before the DVC thing. He used to carry us himself, and everybody enjoyed him because he would just be gisting with you in the car. So you could tell the passion. All my, all my primary to secondary school exams, and in those days we used to write like 10, Navy,
yes,
common
Navy,
entrance.
common
This
entrance
man
and
will
all of
drop
that,
us
yes.
and stay outside. Professor,
He
will
was
stay
present
outside till we are done, and then picks us and drops us back. So you see those things. I don't even joke with him now. Now that he's 83,
83, yeah.
I don't joke with him because I know what he did. And then, architecture is also very expensive. So when I come and say, I need to buy this, I need to buy it, even though some of them
Scam.
But I could see the sacrifice. I could see him just collect salaries and be like, Jide, take it. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Homework and real estate.
Yep.
As chairman, CEO, homework, what would you say to anyone trying to invest into real estate? Considering what we are facing right now, everyone is scared. A lot of our clients, I say our clients because I'm now into it, all thanks to you encouraging me. But I say most of our clients are in diaspora. And the negative news they hear about real estate in Nigeria makes them have a rethink. Do I want to put my money in a country where we don't know who is? How has Homework distinguished herself? And what advice do you give to Mr. Dimeji who wants to invest in property and lives abroad?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the diaspora, so for instance, us as a company, we have over 70% of the buyers are diaspora. And there's still the opportunity. You don't make as much money even there as much as you make here off properties, even just the capital appreciation alone. So it's still there. There's also the emotional part that these people look at and say, do I have something back home? I have a guy that is a doctor. He's over 60. He's about 65. He's trying to send a narrative to Nigerians abroad because he takes care of old people. But he realized that in his hospital, he doesn't find any Nigerian in that set of old people. In fact, before he gets a black person, it's very rare. So what does that mean? They are going back home. And he himself, as a doctor, is saying, I'd rather live as a king in Nigeria. Because one day I called him, billionaire. But one day I called him and he said, I'm buying petrol in the cold. Do you think I would do this in Nigeria? He has over 5 to 6 properties with us. One alone, the rent is sorted for the year. Do you understand? So the opportunity is there. Let's. But sometimes, and things work well abroad. So sometimes they try to feel like that's the same thing that has to happen here. Feedback. If you give me a timeline, it must be a timeline. They don't understand of Lagos State is giving you issues, inflation has hit, so you have to restructure things. They don't really get that, right? So it takes time to be able to communicate. But apart from track record, which is very, very critical, so it's a company that has track record you should look out for. Have they finished or done what they've said they've shown you that they've done before? That's number one. Number two, some people don't even know. Not using professionals or being professionals, they don't even know the issues around some of these things. I tell you that this inflation that just happened, nobody has seen it before. So even for us, it was a shocker because cost of stuff went times 4. Forget this 30% inflation.
Times 4.
It went times 4. How do you explain that to people in the diaspora? They first don't get it. But the easier way to explain that, but you're earning dollars, your dollars remains the same. So to understand that there's a gap. However, you have a lot of people that are going to it because it's a business that if you're lucky to have a couple of people to buy off plan, you can start a business. Yeah. But it's important that, and it's also moving the economy, by the way. So a lot of the money, you heard about Dirty December last year.
Yeah.
Where are they staying? Airbnb. It's not real estate. It's real estate. It's creating business for interior people. I don't know how many interior people have come out of this whole, because you have so many. So it's helping. I dare say that some of the monies we are spending, it can filter. Somebody comes, pays for a house.
Maybe 1 week, 2 weeks.
When they pay Jide pays the supplier. The supplier is Alex's uncle, and he gives Alex money to say, Alex, come and do this thing for me, and then the money touches your hand. Do you understand? So it helps the economy. Yes, it helps there. For me to say 70%, last year, I don't really want to mention figures, but last year we did almost 5.7 billion in revenue. 70% of that money. UK, Canada, US.
Wow.
Do you understand? So
So
I'm just first trying to establish that despite the fact that there are issues, there are also good opportunities for even them. As the minute the inflation happens, it's you and I that are crying. They are not really crying.
Yeah, but beyond inflation, I'm even talking about real estate owners. Who are not. Somebody just comes, buys a few acres of land, puts one fence, and calls it one estate, sells to people, and next thing, everybody starts saying, where's my property?
Yeah.
And there's no property.
Yeah. So I think to answer that question in terms of those that I was going into the fact that different people go into it for different reasons. But you have to be very careful. Lagos has a lot of land title issues. The easiest way to make money is if you get a land, you build a fence, and you tell people it's for sale. I have a lot of those acres at that end, but I don't think you've ever seen me say, come and buy it, come and buy it. Why? It takes time for them to regularize the documents. I feel I will lose 2 of those sites in case government just say, when they were saying free trade zone.
Let me understand. You are already scared that you may
I'm not
lose
even
some
scared.
of your
I'm
property.
not even scared.
You know.
Buying it back then, acres. You see these 5. If 2 survive, we're okay. At least expectation is better. So that's dealing with the families. Because even the families will not know when Lagos State hits them. Because if there's no document, and I think that's the issue with what's going on there, there's no document. What happened then was a family meets somebody. The person says, look, I can sell to the, and it's easier to sell to the diaspora because you're not selling 500, 600, 40 million naira houses. You're selling 2.5 million naira land, 7 million naira, 5 million naira land. Something they can afford to send 500K every month. But guess what? They collect 500K for 4,000 people. And in one sitting without building anything, that developer is already a billionaire. Without doing anything. So when you see the gates and all, and you see the frontage, the land is still going deep into that bush. But you see that frontage, you see the lawn tennis court there. Like, this is not to say that some people have not been able to manage that. But the challenge is that if those lands had issues, so in my own case, they had not gotten consent, governor's consent or C of O's, because government still had a plan. So they tell you, it's not free yet. So you start hearing things like survey or like they call it a different name. That's a red flag. So we're also some of us are also greedy. You hear it, you hear the price, you quickly want to pay. Do you understand? You need to do that due diligence. So along this axis, what's happening with government? Which lawyer is helping you to check it? Right. So there are different things, because real estate is different. Real estate can be industrial, it can be storage, it can be houses, it can be land. If you check it, you see that most of the scam stories you're hearing is land. Not even houses. Houses are, yes, there are some scam stories on houses, but what you're hearing majority of is land. So the idea is it now becomes a marketing pyramid sort of thing, where it is the marketers that this whole thing is about, and not even the owner. I mean, I did 20%, 25%.
Exactly. In 4,000 places.
25%, what's that thing called? Agency fee. When you hear that, you should run.
Really?
Yes, in my houses, I can't pay 20%. If I pay 25%, then it means I'm cheating everybody. So what's happening is you are paying more to get people to gather those people just to bring the money. You're not really looking at the product. So what happened? Very funny story. Somebody, like a friend of mine that I know, was selling for a company, and was doing like marketing for that company, and they were teaching them digital marketing and all that. So he was like, all these agents that I'm teaching how to sell this thing, they are bringing money, and this man is making money. And there are many, they would carry a bus, go to Ekpe, and I asked the man that, me that I'm teaching them the digital, I can't sell too. So the guy now goes and they give him a signboard. He goes there. The day he goes there, Omonile catch him and say, "What are you doing on our land?" The guy said, "I'm selling for this company." And I said, "No, follow us to the palace." They get to the palace. The palace tells them, the Oba tells them, "Who are you selling for?" This company. "No, the company doesn't have land here." I don't understand. We gave it to them for 90 days to bring the money. So here's what it is. Sell for 200 million. Give me my money. When I say, give me 6 months, I'll gather the money for you. So you don't own the land. You now go to the public, and you now do your whole those babas in Ekpe, they don't know anything about digital marketing. So they just bring money. So you now go and sell. So maybe they sold to you 250 per plot. This is a trade secret, but I need to say it so that you get to understand. You say you should shake the table now. So
we're shaking the table.
So basically, they go there and tell them that, look, 250,000 per plot. You now go and say 1 million per plot. So you are trading on so you give the baba his money. He doesn't know this is what you're doing. No. He just feels you have gone to source the money. So you now come and give him that money.
It's 250 and you have 750 to yourself.
750. Now this is where the problem is. The ones that have a conscience will use that to develop the place and still chop their profits. But those down, because it's just land, and maybe Lagos State is not even looking at approval or anything, you just have that cash. Like at the point, my guys used to, these guys they have like 500, 600 million cash because of this. Why are you not doing this? And I said, no, tomorrow they will. It's so funny. I was saying this like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And now they're like, I said, you see what's happening now? Imagine if I did imagine I did that. I'll be dealing. Even one guy that begged me and said, just give me 1 plot or 2 plots, that I even said, okay, but this is the problem. If you know what he did, I had to give him his money back. If you know what he did, I want to start building now. I said, Lagos State, you have to chill. I want to start building now. I started carrying the name. I just said, one person, just one human being, not even. And these are estates that could do 2,000 people, 1,000 people. And it's like you're saying crowdfunding and all. That's the easiest way now. 500K.
So basically, it's just greed at the end of the day.
Well, it's a good plan. It's a good plan. It's a way to crowdfund with tangible assets.
Yeah, but I'm saying why we have this negative news here and there is because of the greed of some.
Oh yes, no, greed of some, and also not greed, but also not being not doing your due diligence.
Diligence, okay.
Not I mean some of them really just fell victim.
Victims,
Even
okay.
the developers, because you didn't check it, but you know other people are doing it in that area. You never knew that
Okay,
this would
speaking
come.
of that now, what has been your worst experience as a realtor in Nigeria?
As a developer in Nigeria.
Or developer rather, because you are more.
So I could withstand most things, but the one that really hit me hard was when Lagos State demolished one of my buildings.
Like demolished.
It had approval. I had built it.
That's my problem. They always have approval.
It had approval. They don't always have approval because the other guys that didn't have approval in the area went scot-free.
Oh.
Because they knew people. I was forming professional. Check, I have the approval. But they were looking for a scapegoat. So what happened to me then was when they went to each plot around the area, Banana Island, so this, you can imagine.
Are you kidding me?
So when they went to each plot around the area and they entered the plot, you see one, either a politician calls or a big man calls, so they back off. So when the game came to mind, no big man called.
Nobody.
It was just, I'm a professional. So and at the point, they probably wanted to show those that you don't want me to enter this Banana Island, okay.
Wow.
So that's what I realized later. But what it taught me was you need to also know who is who and also ensure that you bring that good you are doing to those people. Not because you are trying to lobby or have a godfather or anything.
I was going there because, I mean, why must I have
what you need to
godfather
do, I mean, you're meant to do that, but what you need to do, it actually happens abroad. When you see Donald Trump, they know these people, they know the governor, the mayor of here, the people that sign the paper. You need to. I actually realized from that incident.
experience. Yeah.
Yes, and you see, there's something that bad experience does, bad things like that do for you. It makes you know the right people. So I actually knew the right people in this. You've been doing development, and you mean you've not come to this. So I say, I'm just paying and I'm doing the right thing. So now what happens is now the other way around. Oh, I know him. He does the right thing. Leave him alone. Oh, we'll deal with it. I know him.
A voice that can stand for you.
Yes, it's very important. Aside that, the same thing happens with all our other parastatals that are chasing.
So was there any compensation when the building was being demolished?
Yeah, so not at the point of demolishing it. Okay, there was no compensation. But one of the guys that helped out with the situation actually mentioned that it looked like it's an issue that you can claim because you had approval and the same government that is breaking it gave you approval and it's authentic. But he advised that if you were the landowner that had only one property and this was your life, what you have used to raise all the money, then fight them and collect your compensation. But if you're a developer that has 20 projects around Lagos, just don't bother. Just they've given you permission to go and build, go back and build it.
It's not worth it.
And then maybe after you can just write letters. But if you're gonna do that, you might be having issues on your other sites where you won't know where it's coming from. You know. So we just took the bite and let it go.
Okay.
That's how it went.
Do you think women have been objectified when it comes to real estate? Because men expect, favors from them before they close certain deals. Do you think?
Okay, so it depends on where. So, we have women in different parts of real estate. I mean, maybe here we'll talk about the realtors.
Yeah,
Right, maybe we'll talk about the realtors here because, there are women in development. There are women in construction. There are architects and all that. But I think where you're talking about, there's a lot more with sales. Yeah. Now, whether you like it or not, I have a friend that owns a real estate company. So he got some girls from one of these very Caribbean countries. Why? Because you're selling luxury, and unfortunately, you have men that will see you coming all right, and they have that much money that just by knowing that they don't want to tell you no, they can actually bite, or they want to see you in their office. Not anything, just. I've seen that myself. So I'm not going to sit down here and tell you that no, it's not a thing. I mean, people know it. That's why, I have the lady dressed very well, looks very good. and then she steps to you, and then you want to say, "Oh,
And that's
I'm
my
not one
name."
of those that have. I'm not one of those that have $1 million. If you are seeing me as someone that has $1 million, I would even caution myself to make it seem as if, yes, I'm in that space. If the lady's already telling you that she feels you're in that kidda, do you understand? So it actually does work. That's the truth. But I think, I think. So the answer is yes, but I think it goes beyond that for those that are actually looking for proper value.
Yes.
I think if the lady, and there are many intelligent ladies. In fact,
That I can say.
I don't have, between myself and top C-suits in my company, I think it's predominantly ladies,
Really?
Yep.
and it is not for this reason. And it's not for this reason. It is for accountability. They are the ones that pick things easily. They are the ones that if you say this is how it's supposed to be done, they take it and they do it like that. So I'm trying to say, so you know there's a balance. But in terms of sales, you see the videos, you see the nice YouTube videos when they're checking the property. You see how they have to dress, because the truth is that, I mean, that's how people just see
Visuals.
things. It's just visuals. You know, you might stay on that YouTube video because the lady looks really pretty, and she's also doing, and then you end up seeing the parts that you might not have seen if it was a man. So you can't rule it out completely. You can't. But it's like saying stop doing clubbing, stop wearing the nice dresses you're wearing. I mean, there's a reason you're wearing it. It's attractive. Do you understand? But you're trying to now add that attraction to the building, so to speak, so that you can also use that to sell. So, you know, I'm just trying to make sure you understand that it's there, but it's not, I mean, if you add that intelligence to it, knowing about the property, giving the details, being able to tell them all the things like title documents. So like what Alex mentioned about the land, the lady can tell you, wait, before you buy, you must get your lawyer. If you are educative and you can educate them through the process, beautiful. Yeah, and then you're not pretty and you're not dressed well, oh God.
I get.
It makes
I get
more
where you're
sense
coming
that
from,
way.
though,
Yeah.
because right now we have so many girls who are not professionals, but once they
But
don't
they
have
can't
anything to
s-
do with their
yeah.
life and they feel like they're trying to get men's attention, what do? I'm a realtor.
Yes.
So there's so many female realtors out
And we don't
there.
make it easy. Those companies put them under immense. I'm coming from one that was a classmate of mine. Went to school. They also sell land. They put them under immense
Pressure.
pressure. So you're going and say, I have to sell this thing, I have to bring money, I have to bring money. So there's this desperation from the office. There's desperation for the girl trying to even survive.
Yeah.
And it's easier to use what you have
In
than
quotes,
to try and
yeah.
bring what you don't have. Like a man will have to now try and talk and do all that, you know. So the man can just say, how much is 10 plots? Say this will help you, Sha. Your
Problem
you
will
keep
be
your
over.
job, Abi. Not even anything physical. You keep your job, Abi. All the girl needs to do, please, sir, please.
But
sir,
it's
now."
mostly physical. It's
Well, you can't rule the fact that it can extend to physical, and don't also rule the fact that some actually do it. So by the fact that they do it, it will now be unfortunate for those that don't do it.
That don't do it, yeah.
Because the man is also expecting. Do you understand? But we live in a society where men too their eyes are.
Everybody's just busy looking
But
left
the
and
moment,
right.
the moment the lady walks in and says, "I want to sell this to you," sit down. Are you sure you want to sell this thing? And then I start taking the conversation somewhere else. So you can't rule it out. But I just feel that I'm just trying to add that if one of these ladies can add some of these things to
Know their
it,
onions.
there could be that, you know.
so it can help them sell better.
Yes, it can make them sell better. It can
And
make them look
distinguish
more
them.
professional than salesy in terms of using yourself to sell, because it won't last. Once you're older and some younger girl, you're not selling again. Does that your profession is done? Do you understand? So you need to be able to sort of try and balance it.
So, Mr. Jide, where do we get this book from? Online, or is there a bookshop where people can actually just walk in and get their copies?
Okay, so it's going to be distributed in bookshops, but currently we have a website, jideadekola.com.
JideAdekola.com.
Yes, there's an institute, jideadekolainstitute.com, through that same website. And then you
By
can
institute, you mean you do trainings?
Oh
and all
yes,
of that?
training. So there are two other books. So one of the books that we have is on design and development, and mainly for architects trying to learn or people that want to know how to go into development. So we're giving them those because I do believe that the experience is what has allowed us write this thing for other people to see.
Good.
So basically, the books are actually even there to even help people navigate. I'm passionate about architects. I wish I knew a lot of things while I was in architecture school, and I feel that architects are even more prone to be developers because they're already the leader of the team, right? So by virtue of that, they need to add other things. But instead of that, they stay cocky on one end. They don't know business. They don't know.
They just
They
stick
don't
to
know
drawing.
management. So they learn all these things and try and add it together. That's what that book does. The other one is a simple guide to real estate investment, trying to bring it to today, where we're having the likes of crowdfunding, we're having the likes of fractional ownership. I mean, we're trying to buy a hotel room in Dubai and 5 people own it and they don't know themselves and they're earning from it. So there's already that type of thing that we're not really doing
And
much of it.
all this we have
Nigeria.
in the book.
We have it in the second book, which is the real estate investment guide. So all of this can be found in those in the website, and then also the institute also helps to like train artisans. We're just looking at what is the gaps in the industry. So we're trying to train like artisans. So can you even train a carpenter? Let's go as small as carpenter, bricklayer, iron bender. Then you now go to students, you now go to people that want to learn development, you go to architect, then you now go to the normal average Nigerian that wants to go into the business. If we can do in our way, the little we can do to train those coming in, then the problems you're talking about, we won't have them. So that young lady can come for such a training. And when she comes, she gets to know her onion. So when she's talking, the person actually knows that it's not about me I'm trying to tell you what I know. Do you understand? And I feel that it moves the economy. So the more people know about this and try to, go into real estate, the better for us.
Anyway, thank you so much. It's been an honor having you on the show. Truth is, we might have to bring you back because there's a lot we did not touch, and our time is far spent. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is still Off the Mic podcast. My name still remains Alex Osho. Indeed, it has been an awesome time with Mr. Jide Adekola, the chairman, CEO, Homework Groups. Of course, our Ada is the Ada of the My Podcast is still here, Josephine Lawrence. Thank you so much. Till we come your way again next week, it is adios. But guess what? If you think I look good, please let me quickly give the shout out to SS Couture. They made everything I'm wearing. And a big shout out to our partners, Creative Economic Practice, the CC Up, for supporting us and ensuring that we have the platform to express ourselves. Till I see you next week. Keep it locked. We good?